All right, I am sitting at the Meyer Theater with their recently expanded and improved Wurlitzer. This is a style 190, I believe you said? Yeah, okay. Style 190 recently got a little bit of updates. It had been running a Uniflex system with 5 pistons per manual. So for starters, you can see it's been expanded 10 generals and then 10 divisionals for each manual. Set, cancel, and a trim cancel button, which can come in handy. The stop rail, as you can see, is full. As I was told, there was at one point only one trim tab that ran all 5 trims, and now you've got 5 trim tabs for all 5. Fun little organ, second touch on both accompaniment and the grate. They've added MIDI, so they'll be able to do quite a bit with this. And then there's also been an addition of couplers, including solo to pedal, accompaniment to pedal, the accompaniment octave, solo sub, and solo super octaves. So quite a bit going on here over on this. Well, we'll start with this side since we're over here already. As you can see, it's the Peterson ICS 4000. I think I said that right. Currently I am guest B, memory level 2. This I'm not all that familiar with, but there's plenty of stuff going on in there. And then you can save memory levels and recordings onto flash drives, which I think that's pretty neat. To my left, junk drawer with some sound effects. That's an addition that used to be controlled by the toe studs, which now can be set to your desire. But you know, the classic horse's hoofs, bird whistle. I enjoy the siren myself. Triangle, and a very slow building and slow fading surf. And the fire gong, which currently isn't reiterating, but that is in the works to be repaired. And also the addition of the auto horn is coming up, and I missed the boat whistle. So I guess that about sums it up. What you have here is very unique, partially because this is a very late theater organ. This was installed in 1930, and the sole purpose of these was to accompany silent films. Sound came to film in 1928, so it's a little bit unusual in that sense. The other really interesting thing about this is original to the theater. And of the 10,000 or so theater organs that were built in the 1920s and 30s, only 44 remain original. So you have, not to play off the color, but a little piece of gold here. And has anybody here, is this your first experience with a theater organ? By applause, I can't see. That's awesome. All right. I've asked that question a lot, and that's one of the best responses I've ever gotten. To put this in a modern sense, this is like the Casio keyboard that you see at Walmart. It's a synthesizer from 1930. It was meant to replace the pit orchestra to accompany silent films because it was a lot cheaper to hire one musician than it was 20, 30, or in some theaters, hundreds. So it's got a lot of interesting sounds. They get more and more interesting as we go too. But basic musical instruments such as the trumpet, violins. That was too high, sorry. Flutes, and clarinets. Now keep in mind, none of this, well, with one exception, none of this is digital. This is all being created acoustically. There's a room up there where the sound's coming from that's full of pipes from the size of my pinky finger to about 16 feet tall. So, now we'll get into the fun stuff. Well, actually, there's a couple more things. The theater, they tried to replicate the sound of the human voice, like a singing choir. And you really have to use your imagination to hear it, but I think that in the right place, it makes a really good frog, so. And then, you know, when you're playing along with the movies, you'll need certain sounds. One of my favorite that you can actually make is a dog bark. And then on this side here, we've got the junk drawer, which has all sorts of fun junk in it. The damsel in distress is tied to the railroad tracks and the train's coming in. Let's see, you know, the romantic kiss or a scene along the shore, and this one you kind of have to listen for. It's supposed to be the surf. And let's see, triangles, horse's hoofs, and a fire gong, and this one just kind of cracks me up. And the doorbell. But, oh yeah, and there's also 3 cuckoos on the organ. Here's one. And here's 2. I have fun with what I do. Chimes, xylophones, and that's actually a real xylophone being struck by mallets that are all driven pneumatically in the glockenspiel. So it's really a really neat thing. More stuff. That's the problem with it. There's just so much stuff. We could be here all night. Bass drums. A crash cymbal, or more appropriately, a trash can lid, snare drum, tambourine, castanets, the Chinese block, and perfect for this time of the year. So, it's a lot of fun. And what I'd like to do for you next is play a piece of music. And there's an interesting thing about the title to this piece of music. It actually contains a word in it, not once, not twice, but 3 times, that would 8 months out of the year be considered an obscenity, but right now we seem to embrace it. Here is my rendition of Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow.